and welcome to our weekly educational rounds here at Sinclair, where we attempt to bring out some positive type of enhancements to your life that are practical and you can do on an everyday basis in your life. Today, I'm joined by a couple colleagues, and I am Jim Ellermeyer. I'm a behavioral health therapist here at Sinclair, and I'm joined by two of my colleagues. On my left would be
Nicole Engler. I'm a PA student from University of Mount Union.
And on my right,
Jeffrey Stebbins. I'm a physician assistant student from St. Francis University.
And I'm not aware that most people out there would not be familiar or appreciate the experience that physician's assistants go through in their training. Where I know that I've referred to it in the past as more of an endurance test and rather than a learning experience. And if you stand at the end, you win?
Correct.
So true.
So talk to us a little bit about that.
The experience that we're in?
Yes. Talk to us about the not having a life.
Okay, so it's just that, not having a life. It is because we would love to work in the medical field as physician assistants. We dedicate about 2 years of our life, 1 year being in the classroom, and then the next year being out on rotations. Many different schools have different number of rotations that they have to go through, but they're usually around 5 to 6 weeks each, rotating from position to position.
Tell me, Nikki, do you believe that you're participating in your life at present? Do you believe you're participating in life?
I wish I could be more. Right now I'm participating in the life of a PA student, which is mostly studying and working towards my end goal of passing my boards and becoming a physician assistant. If I was participating in my life, I would be doing more fun things, enjoying more time with my friends and family and doing the things that I enjoy. But I know that come August, I can be me again and live more in my life.
Well, what we're going to attempt to do is to help people be that way every day on a daily basis. And before we go any further, if everyone out there would possibly reset their clocks to Buddha Standard Time, which is the present moment. And I'll ask you, Jeff, what time is it?
It's now.
Nikki?
Right now.
It's right now, and it's always right now. It's always right now o'clock. So at right now o'clock, let's be here. So what you're talking about is having perhaps a human experience, right? Mm-hmm. A human experience. There are some people out there who take the philosophy that we are spiritual beings who are having a human experience. Spiritual beings to having a human experience. And quite often what people go through their life, they go through their life doing rather than being. And that kind of sounds to me like where you're at, Nikki.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Doing rather than being.
Yes.
Doing rather than being. So when we're doing rather than being, we ask ourselves in September, where did summer go? Or we ask ourselves, how did it get to be Christmas already? Or you meet somebody's child and says, how did you get so big? Okay, so the idea is that how can we get to be being? Okay, and the real truth, Jeff, is that nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be done. How would you take that phrase, Nikki?
That every day is a choice, just like you always tell us. You can choose to make certain goals for yourself. I need to grocery shop today. I need to write this paper, and I need to spend 2 hours with my husband or something. But you don't need to do that. So you set those goals, but you need to choose to do the things that make you happy.
So we can choose to do things. And have you ever met somebody like they're going through the holidays, they're preparing all these dinners, all these whatever the minutiae or rigmarole that people involve, even around a simple thing as planning a picnic. Okay. Have you ever been to one of those events and the person who planned it is having the worst time there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
So tell us a little bit about that in your own life, Jeff.
In my own life, well, when you have tests coming up or exams coming up, or right now what we're all dealing with as PA students, the boards coming up, we say that we need to do this, we need to study, we need to get this done. But really, it's the choice that we're making to get this done in order to better ourselves. So, like you said before, and how Nikki said, everything in life is really all about choices and how you choose to live life, I guess, is what it's going to be.
Absolutely. And sometimes what we do, and I'm sure that everyone out there in the audience can relate to this, myself also, I paint everyone with this brush, that quite often we get caught up in doing. Mm-hmm. We get caught up in doing. Do you ever get up in the morning, Jeff, and say, what do I have to do today?
It's the first thing that I say, I think, every day.
Nikki, could you agree with that?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, how many people get up there and say, what do I have to do today? And how does that start off your day with?
Anxiety,
worry,
stress,
Bad
busyness.
time management, the time crunch. Oh my. So, and the real truth is that you don't have to do anything that day. You really and truly don't have to do anything that day. So perhaps what we could do is start small and creating an image of yourself. Creating an image of yourself, Nikki. Creating an image of yourself, Jeff, in the present moment and where we're at right now. Doing some socializing. Do you ever do any socializing?
With my PA friends.
Okay,
studying.
well, they are friends, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any socializing in your life? And I'm not talking about imaginary social media things.
Yes, I mean, I tried to set aside some time to separate myself from my schooling and my work life just to keep myself sane.
You have FaceTime with human beings?
With human beings, yes.
Okay, great. Do you ever do anything that scares you, Nikki? Do you ever do anything to step outside of your comfort zone?
Yeah.
Such as?
Well, I guess it's things that I'm forced to do that forces me to step out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
Like giving a speech
Giving
or
a
like
speech?
a presentation for school.
Okay. So what we do is by participating in the human experience, Jeff, and those can be scary things for sure. So what we start off by doing simple things, and quite often we make our lives so complicated. And what we do here at Sinclair, which is an integrative, holistic psychiatric facility, we do not treat diagnoses, we treat people. And what we try to do is help people who have such complicated lives, and they've made themselves complicated, become uncomplicated, and help people understand what the power of simplicity is. A simple thing, Jeff, such as going into a store and asking for change for $1. Going into a store and asking to use the restroom. Okay? Calling up and, let's say, making an appointment. Calling back half an hour later and canceling it. Being in a store and asking the person at the produce if they have any fresher melons in the back. Do you ever do that?
I have not.
You have not. Okay. And these are some of the things where we step out of being the doing, okay, and into the being, okay. And also, how about doing something that you're good at? What are some of the things that you're good at, Nikki? A couple of things besides putting up with me.
Shopping.
Shopping? You good at shopping? Okay. How about you, Jeff? Doing some things that you're good at.
Running.
Running? You good at running?
I like to think I'm good at running sometimes.
Okay. So the idea is here that what we want to do is build on positive experiences. We want to build on positive experience, build on positivity. Quite often, human beings have the lenses in their glasses reversed, and we tend to focus on the negative in our lives, and we don't look at the positive. Okay? So in 12-step recovery, quite often what we'll ask people who have a case of the poor me's or woe is me, is to ask individuals to make a gratitude list. Do you ever make a gratitude list, Jeff?
I don't think I've ever made a gratitude
Okay,
list.
how about you, Nikki?
I haven't.
Okay, and quite often what we'll ask people to do, and when we take things out from between the ears and put them concrete out in front of us, they have some more meaning, okay? They take it out of the imaginary and put it into reality, put it right in front of us. Take these words and these thoughts and these sounds and these images out of our brains and put them out in front of us and give them some shape and substance to them. So on a gratitude list, what we do is we list everything that's going right in our lives. Everything that's going right in our lives, everything that we're grateful for. And then we put on the other side, we'll put the challenges that we're facing. And I have really and truly yet to run into the person whose side of the scale wasn't heavier with the things that are going well in their life. And so many things that we don't appreciate. Tell me some good things about your life, Jeff.
Well, I have great friends, great family, good support system behind me trying to get through PA school. Yeah, that's some good things.
Okay, did you ever, when times are a little tough for you, when you're facing some challenges, do you ever sit down and say those things to yourself? Do you ever give yourself those positive affirmations?
I guess I will now.
Tell me some good things that are going on in your life, Nikki.
I just got a new puppy.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's fun and exciting. I just got a new apartment. I'm about to finish PA school. There's lots of good things.
I guess there is.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea is that, do you ever make these positive affirmations? How often do we, everyone out there listening today, how often do we list the negative things that are going on in our life?
More often than we should.
Absolutely. How many times has a person come up to you and say, boy, you ought to hear about the day I had? Does anybody ever come up to you and tell what a good day they've had?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Isn't that good to hear?
It is.
How does that make you feel when somebody comes and tells you that?
It makes you feel good for them.
It makes you feel good for them and good for yourself, so you might want to share that experience with others also. One of the things is to make others feel good about themselves. Make others feel good about themselves is a way to be in the moment, be in the experience, and be a human being. We had a young lady here today, here at Sinclair, and eating is one of our specialties. If you ever want to stop and see us at 341 Story Road, Export, PA, 15632. And what we do here is we try to provide nourishment to all of us here, and like I say, we all love to eat. So today we had a really great, I don't even know what you'd call it. Quiche. Yeah. It was really great, really wonderful. And when we were there, and we told this young lady who prepared it, what a nice job she did. Mm-hmm. What a really nice job she did. And have you ever been experiencing in life when did you ever tell your partner that you cared about them? Did you ever tell them how they did such a good job? Well, no, they know I feel that way. Really? Are you a mind reader?
I'm not.
Okay.
Not yet.
You have a crystal ball that works?
I wish.
So the idea is to participate, helping other people feel good about themselves. Helps you feel good about you. It increases that well. It charges up that energy, that life battery inside you. So what we want to try to do. Did you ever seek compliments? Not to be arrogant or narcissistic. Do you ever ask somebody, hey, did I do a good job on that? Have you ever gone with somebody, let's say a partner, have you ever gone to a partner and say, what do you like about me? Why, what attracts you to me? What holds you? And you ask them?
Yeah.
Okay, you'd be surprised how many people have never asked that question. Have you ever done that, Jeff?
Yeah, because I think everybody wants to hear the good things about themselves sometimes. To try to give a little reinforcement for that.
Absolutely. So when we're dealing with people with low self-esteem and low self-concept, do you think that would be something that's natural for them to do, to go ask somebody?
No.
Very, very difficult. Very difficult. Which is the idea that we build on positive experiences, we work things up, and we try to get clarification on our life plans. Okay? So one of the hardest things to do is to be participating in life and being is motivation, which is a topic for about 150 of these educational rounds. So tell me about motivation. Tell me what gets you motivated.
As far as PA school,
as far as life, getting anything done.
Happiness, I guess. The goals that you set for yourself, getting married, having kids, being happy.
Mm-hmm. That motivates you to do what you're doing now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about you, Jeff? I know that you're not familiar with procrastination at all.
Oh, not at all. Mm-mm.
So what do you have to say to our friends out there that perhaps may be a procrastinator?
Well, I would say do what I do and set some plans in the distant future. So, like planning a trip, which I just did, just to try to look toward and get me motivated to get to that point and something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of how I've gotten through.
Well, sure. And if you ever get to the Procrastinators Hall of Fame, you can see my statue that's right out front that will greeting you as you come in. So the idea, in order to motivate ourselves, how do we do that? Who are some of the people that motivate you? You don't have to name names. There's some people in your life that motivate you?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Are there maybe certain songs, certain things that you read, certain friends that you talk to that can motivate you?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Are there situations, people, places, things, circumstances, events where you can place yourself that motivate you?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is, if we can't get that spark of motivation going, can we at least place ourselves in a position to be motivated? Can we do that?
We can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So one of the hardest things to do is start. Do you agree?
Yeah.
One of the absolutely hardest things to do is start. And quite often, being the doing things that we do, there's so much busyness in our homes, isn't there? There's so much busyness in our lives, so much chatter, so much nonsense, so much that interference that gets in our way. Okay, so let's say that you're preparing a presentation for PA school. Okay, and that you have all these doodads and gadgets and little things you can look at in your house, books, things to play with, things to contemplate, whatever, anything to distract you from your purpose. Have you ever taken yourself out of those situations to get something done?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? And
Like when it's getting down close to the wire, like the test is tomorrow, and I've procrastinated and gotten distracted the previous 4 days. It's time to remove yourself from the situation. And
so what you're talking about is changing your environment. Okay? And if there's anything that will help a person accentuate their life and become a human being, is to be grateful. Is to be grateful. Do you ever set anything aside to be grateful for every day?
not every day.
Okay. So, Jeff, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge rather than by getting up in the morning and saying, what is my plan for today? You can get up in the morning and say, what am I grateful about today? Starting off your day with what I'm grateful about today. And our homework assignment out there for everyone listening and watching today is to write down 3 positive things about your life every day. 3 things that are going well in your world. It could be, and no computer stuff, no word processing. This has to be pencil or pen on paper, and you have to actually make these things happen. And it doesn't have to be anything fantastic like you got a new job or a new vacation or started a new relationship. It could be simply that you didn't trip and fall when you got out of bed this morning, and that you had breakfast and that things, and you weren't out of shampoo when you got in the shower. Did that ever happen to you?
No, soap, not shampoo.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. How about you, Jeff? Did you ever get into something and it wasn't there?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
especially like this morning when we were cooking and you reach for something in the cupboard and it's not there. So you have to improvise.
Well, sure. So the idea is the idea of these educational rounds is to help fill people's cupboards. And when they're in a particular stage or area of their life, and they can reach in and they can pull something out. However, in order for it to be in there, it has to be put in there. Correct? Okay, well, great. Well, we're certainly glad that everyone joined us for our educational round today. We're going to offer our usual free prescription, which is fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Unplug your television and perhaps take up fishing. And for a truly mindful experience, what do you do?
Fish without bait.
You fish without bait. And until the next time, Mr. Jeff is going to take us out. And your assignment, of course, as always, is to be good to yourself.
To continue the conversation, please like us on Facebook, plus us on Google+, or follow us on Twitter under Sinclair Life. You can also find this and other grand rounds on youtube.com/Sinclair Video and find audio versions on iTunes, Stitcher, Speaker, and iPhone radio or iHeartRadio. And please visit www.sinclair.com for more about us and other articles on our great blog.
Thank you so much for joining us today.